They replaced you before they thanked you. The decision was made in a room you weren't invited to. By the time you noticed, it was already final. You kept the team running. You answered the messages nobody else wanted. You fixed the problems that never made it into a report. What you're experiencing has a name. It's called utility displacement, and it happens to competent professionals long before underperformers ever feel the pressure. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to decode exactly why your usefulness became the reason you were replaceable, and what visibility actually buys. Here's the first concrete truth. Leadership doesn't replace people based on output. They replace people based on perception of irreplaceability. But the second layer is sharper, and it's where most useful professionals lose the game without ever realizing they were playing one. Think about who gets praised in your company. It's rarely the person who prevents fires. It's the person who is seen putting them out, even if they started smaller. You became the person who absorbs friction quietly. Every problem you solved without escalation was a story your manager never got to tell upward. This is the quiet part. Useful employees disappear into their own competence. The smoother you make things, the less visible the work becomes. Picture this. Monday morning stand-up. A colleague mentions a deliverable they completed last week. Your 3 weekend saves get no mention because nobody knew they were saves. Your manager isn't withholding credit on purpose. They're protecting their own narrative upward. Your invisible labor doesn't help them tell a leadership story. This is where the pattern reveals itself. In calibration meetings, names move based on stories executives can repeat. Your name has no repeatable story attached. What you thought was a meritocracy is actually a memory contest. The people promoted are the ones leadership remembers under pressure, not the ones who perform best. Here's what makes this worse. Useful employees often resist self-promotion. They believe the word should speak. The word doesn't speak. The word gets absorbed. Visible employees understand something useful employees miss. Reputation is a separate deliverable. It requires its own time budget, its own strategy, its own maintenance. Picture this scenario. A senior leader asks your manager what your team accomplished this quarter. Your manager lists 3 projects, none of which were yours. Not because your work was bad, because your work was infrastructure. And infrastructure only gets named when it breaks, never when it holds. This is the part nobody warns you about. The reward for being dependable is more dependence. The reward for being visible is opportunity. Useful employees get assigned more work. Visible employees get assigned more authority. Those 2 trajectories look similar for about 18 months, then they diverge permanently. If this sounds like your last performance cycle, you're not paranoid. You're paying attention to a pattern that took most professionals a decade to see. Watch what happens during reorgs. Leadership doesn't ask who is essential. They ask who is known. Essential and known are not the same word. The high performer who handles everything quietly becomes a single point of failure. Single points of failure aren't comfortable for leadership, so they get redistributed. Your competence created your own risk profile. The more you absorb, the more leadership felt exposed by your eventual departure, so they preempted it. Here's a phrase to keep in your back pocket. When a manager praises you privately, ask, "Can you share that with the team in our next meeting?" Watch the response carefully. If the praise stays private, it was never meant to travel. Private praise is comfort, not currency. This is where it gets sharper. Useful employees are often kept in role precisely because they perform it too well to move. Your excellence anchored you. Meanwhile, the moderately visible colleague who delegates aggressively keeps getting moved into stretch roles. Their gaps create space for others to shine, which leadership reads as developmental. Picture this. A promotion cycle opens. 2 candidates emerge. One quietly delivered 8 projects. The other delivered 4, but presented twice at the all-hands. The presenter gets promoted. Not because leadership is shallow, because leadership has to defend the decision to peers, and presentation creates defendable narrative. Drop a comment if you've watched a less competent colleague get promoted past you, and you couldn't quite explain how it happened. You're not alone in seeing this. Subscribe if you want more of these patterns decoded. Most professionals only see this after their 3rd bypass. You're seeing it earlier than that on purpose. Now here's a deeper layer. Useful employees often build identity around being needed. That identity becomes a trap because needed and valued are not the same currency. Being needed makes you load-bearing. Being valued makes you load-distributing. Organizations promote low distributors because they scale leadership, not because they scale work. The hardest realization is this: your manager may genuinely like you and still replace you. Liking is personal, replacing is structural. They operate on different rails. Here's another phrase worth memorizing. What would I need to do differently to be considered for the next level? Ask it once a quarter. Document the answer. If the answer is vague, that's your data. Vague answers from managers about advancement mean the conversation isn't happening upward. You're not being positioned. This is the part where useful employees usually push harder. They take on more. They assume more output will close the gap. It won't. It accelerates the trap. Picture this. You receive a new high-stakes project. You feel chosen. 6 months later, the project succeeds, and someone else presents the outcome to the executive team. That wasn't an accident. That was the design. You were trusted with execution. Someone else was trusted with narrative. Narrative is the role that gets promoted. Here's the pattern accelerating. Once you're typecast as execution, every new assignment confirms the type. You become more useful and less considered for narrative roles. Visibility isn't volume. It isn't loudness. It isn't self-congratulation. Visibility is the deliberate practice of attaching your name to outcomes leadership wants to repeat. Watch the calendars of people who get promoted. They spend a meaningful percentage of their week in conversations that are not their direct work. That's not waste. That's positioning. Useful employees often judge those conversations as political. They are political. Politics in this sense just means the system by which decisions about people get made. Refusing to participate in that system doesn't make you principled. It makes you absent from the room where your name comes up. Absence is not neutrality. Here's another phrase. I'd love to walk you through what my team accomplished this quarter. Do you have 15 minutes? Send it to your skip level once a quarter. If you can't get 15 minutes with your skip level, that's information. It means you're not on the leadership radar, and you need to understand why before the next reorg. This is the quiet part again. Reorgs don't eliminate the unknown, they eliminate the known but unstoried. If your name has no executive story, your role is reorganizable. Picture this final scenario. A restructure is announced. Roles are being consolidated. You're told your responsibilities are being absorbed into a broader function led by someone newer. You weren't fired. You weren't even demoted. Your role simply disappeared into someone else's title. That is what utility displacement actually looks like in practice. The newer person isn't more skilled. They're more legible. Leadership could describe their value in one sentence. Yours required 3 paragraphs, so it got compressed into theirs. Here's the strategic awareness piece. You don't need to become someone you're not. You need to make your existing value legible to the people deciding your future. Start with one sentence. If a senior leader asked your manager what you do, what one sentence would you want them to say? Build toward that sentence deliberately. Then audit your week. How much of your work supports that sentence? How much of it makes you useful in ways that sentence doesn't capture? Adjust the ratio. Here's the last phrase. I want to make sure my work is visible to the people making decisions about it. Can we discuss how to do that? Ask your manager directly. Their response tells you everything. A real manager will help you build visibility. A threatened manager will redirect you back to execution. If the response is redirection, you have your answer. You're not being developed, you're being maintained. Maintenance roles are the first to be restructured when budgets tighten. The viewers who internalize this stop performing harder and start performing differently. They keep the competence, they add the narrative. That combination is what actually compounds. Useful employees who learn visibility become unstoppable. Visible employees who never develop usefulness eventually get exposed. The intersection is where careers are actually built. So ask yourself one question this week. If you disappear from your company tomorrow, what story would leadership tell about you? If you don't know, that's the work. Drop a comment with the one piece of work you're most proud of this year that leadership above your manager doesn't know about. Naming it is the first step. Subscribe if you want to keep decoding these patterns. The professionals who see the system clearly are the ones who stop being surprised by it. Here's the closing truth. Being useful made you valuable to your team. Being visible makes you valuable to the company. Only one of those decides your future. Quiet competence is a gift you give your employer. Strategic visibility is a gift you give yourself. Stop confusing the two and the next reorg will look very different. Useful employees get replaced. Visible employees get promoted. The work isn't to choose between them. The work is to refuse the false choice and become both.